I don't even know where to start with the BEAT race stuff. Are you upset? Tiny bit, tiny bit. I think the word disappointed is more accurate though. Did you apply the method to get a guaranteed race spot for the upcoming event? I did not. I did not. How can I apply to Invitational? Do I have to beat someone? Just provide that you can compete in this race. I don't exactly know how, but just do, okay? Let me know what you want my salt levels at. Your salt levels should be to a point that you don't burn bridges, but up until that point, everything is fine. If your salt levels are actually past it anyways at the moment. Kammell, I am in the Big Boys channel. Whenever you're ready. I'm making tea. Fine, I have coffee. I have coffee and I have enough salt, you know. I have some roasted and salted peanuts here, so my salt levels are gonna be fine as well. I'm gonna be good as well on that. My first thought when I read the announcement was, "Lol, where's Carmen? What a surprise! I find your comment below." Oh goodness. Oh goodness. F for leaf, yeah. I wish I was good enough racer to be affected by this and join the Fury. If I wasn't the racer, I would still be. The argument is completely valid regardless if you're a racer or not, so it's just, I guess it just gets amplified if you are a racer. The only problem with this invitational is the price. Yeah, that's it. I can be personal about it. Oh, I see. I see. If it's a problem not bothering you, you can't have you can't get the pitchforks. I see. I get it. I get it. I will tell you, if anyone is mad about Leaf not being in it, you're more mad than Leaf. I mean, Leaf doesn't giving a shit doesn't mean that others shouldn't. You're not saying it, obviously, but the random person next door not voting and not giving a fuck about what's happening in our country because, you know, it doesn't vote and doesn't care, it doesn't mean that everyone else shouldn't. Yeah. So if you're wondering how Leaf feels, oh, well, yeah. Still, I don't think it in particular it matters. Like, hot question, if you were boycotted, would you have a boycotted race in protest? Obviously, I can just say, I can say I would. I can't prove it, but I would like to think that I could do it. That's a hot chest. That's a one goddamn hot chest there. Like, the thing is, I don't know if it's actually even like a good thing to do, right? Because that might result in bad things overall for racing. But at the same time, I guess the boycott would be at the point where I'm so past hope that you know, it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter if I like do it or not. Metal guys cannot do that. Obviously they can't. The thing is, it seems that everyone revolving around this event didn't know about the price until, I don't know, like yesterday or today or something like that. And the whole thing has been planned for a long time apparently. So that just sounds like GDG was originally planning to... I'd like to think that they were originally planning on making the competition on these qualifiers actually fair, but then for whatever reason, be a good reason or bad reason or whatever, they were like, just actually dump it on this event which is already planned instead. Guess is already planned. He already planned doing all of them with invites and various partners, but after they will have to change. They will have. It's a joke if all of the races are like this, but I'm pretty sure they are not. This has at least been very open on talking that there will be at least one race where it's open doors. How should he know? I mean, if he says it like that, to me it's pretty clear. He knows things. Whether it be... I mean, you know, method? I would assume Sis knows, based on that. It could also be just actually Sis's race, because... Give me a second, I'll find you the thread. I'll actually just find you the thread. POE big changes to Exile account. Because, yeah, there you go. Big updates to Exile account. Because in this post, you look at this. Throughout 2019, 4 different race events will run, hosted by different groups, including some community members. So, most likely gonna be Kammell, because he's been doing these race events, right? We have this race event now, in 5 days. Then, it's either gonna be this, or / method and then whatever the last is, or potentially method and then this individually. I don't know. Oh, unmuting. Let me know if the music is too loud.
Kabaruski.
You mean a firish room?
I have my tea. I have my salt. Where are we starting?
And we have a good Final Fantasy X background music playing that nobody barely hears. Pretty sad.
I love Final Fantasy X.
Me too.
Love it.
How you hear Kammell when he talks?
Where are we starting, buddy?
Give me a second. Dude, it's so weird actually now having to fucking use push to talk with you.
Why? Oh yeah,
Oh, I'll double him. Like,
yeah. Wait, why are you using push to talk? Just let it fly. I can already hear everything under this desk. I'm just on Discord, so everyone else can hear me.
Discord is already on fucking. Oh wow.
Say, oh wow.
The Discord was already on. Yeah, you're now 200% on Discord.
Okay.
And the wow was you hearing everything under the desk anyways. So. Feels bad, man. Me having not my push talk open, you hear it anyways. Is that what you're saying?
Where are we starting?
I don't know, dude. I don't even know.
Hold on. Let's think about this. Think about where
You know
we
what?
begin.
You know what? How we can start this?
Yes.
We can take a look at the announcement.
Yes.
And then the Reddit thread.
Oh, I can say that, yeah, you are correct. None of us knew that this was happening.
You're skipping ahead now. You're skipping ahead now. Okay, I'm gonna do some reading. Do you just want me to make the not push talk and then you just see when you actually hear when I'm reading and whatnot? I think it's fine.
Yeah, I have your stream muted. So go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, boys. BEAT Exile Racing Invitational, May 5th. So, like what, 5 or 6 days or whatever. We are excited to announce that the team at BEAT Esports have worked with us to produce a Path of Exile Invitational where many top Path of Exile racers will compete in a pair of races culminating in a killing act in Kitava. There's over 2,000 in prizes available and the winner will be flown to New Zealand to compete in the racing grand final at ExileCon. So if we go back to the thing that I literally just had on my screen, let's get it back. So this here. So ExileCon will also feature a racing final event throughout 2019. 4 different race events will run, hosted by different groups, including some that feature an ExileCon prize package as the first place. The winner of each we'll announce more details in the news over the coming weeks. This is 15 days old, so 2 weeks old. Right? So, as we can probably conclude, this is part of that. So we're not actually getting any information on like the grand picture. We don't even know what the final race event will be. It's most likely going to be Act 5 or Act in Kitava, but we don't know. They haven't actually said anything. So yeah, this is the 5th entry in. Okay, that's just like, you know, blah blah blah. The founders and staff of the BEAT Invitational have played Path of Exile since our early beta days and considers themselves no strangers to the hospitality of Kraus. Okay, that's just shit. Okay, the event will be held on May 5th at time zones. You can watch it at BEAT Twitch channel here and enjoy the casting of familiar community mates Ziki and Rice. Format solo, self, and hardcore. It'll be this group stage. So the first, there's 2 races. There's Act 5 Kitava kills. Top 8 advance with the top average time from the 2 races. Now the format alone is kinda because since there's 12 people, you're gonna see here. So this means that if you die, you're basically out. And since it's 2 races, if you want to get your spot in the final, you're not gonna be going as fast as you can. You're going safe and trying to go fast as well, but it's not actually pushing the limits of going fast. If 4 people die, that's basically it. This would make more sense if it was from these 12 people, 4 people get to the finals, and because then you would actually kind of have to try to go fast as well. Right? So Oh yeah, you literally can't because there's average of two times and the time limit of the race is 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I think the format itself is bad. It should be best time of these 2 races, because that would mean that you actually have to go fast. If you die once, you still have the redemption in the second race. So I think this is just a bad format. But and then we have the finals act and Kitawa, no max time. That's why. Okay, then we arrived at the prizes. The first place, well, the 900 USD. That's fine. Plus ExileCon prize package, which means a VIP ExileCon ticket, entry into the Grand Racing Finals at ExileCon, return flights to New Zealand, accommodation. Second place some money, third place some money. A list of racers who have confirmed that they will participate are as follows. Doom, Havoc, Fight Car, Crying, Ziz, Steel, Waggle, Kammell, Dai, Gucci, Gorath, and Nugi. Don't miss on the action, be sure to tune on the esports. Okay, so this is the GGG post. Does somebody have the Twitter? Actually, I can probably get it myself because I retweeted it. Give me a second. Without me actually showing what I tweeted, but in here, BEAT Esports is proud to partner with, present the BEAT Season 11, yada yada. Up for grab is some Exile packages with money. 12 racers. So in here, they're basically confirming that it is 12 racers. Or like there's kind of a conflict here. It's pretty safe to say that it's gonna be 12 and not more. Okay, so as you can see, it is a invitational race where they have picked people, obviously as some kind of they just not picking random people, but there is no like, since this is the only thing we've heard about this, we didn't hear that 12 people that have proven that they can qualify, like should qualify for this attempt at getting the place for the racing finals. So this is basically kind of against the spirit of competitive racing. Just by default, because they're just picking up people. There's a you could add to this list bunch of people. Like I can actually be competitive against. I can place in top 8 in this group in the group stage. I would at the moment I would probably not be against 10, like another 12. Yeah, you can add to this list like 15 names or something like that, like pretty easily. And let's go over to the Reddit thread. There isn't too much new stuff in there, but yeah, basically the main issue here is that they are giving one of those 4 spots and it's not a open doors, everyone has a chance to get it, which is really bad. Okay, so here's the Reddit thread. We at BEAT Invitational are delighted to announce our 5th entry in the BEAT Invitational series, which is none other than Battle of Exile. We're pleased to partner with GDG and Signhurst to make this one of the best races yet. The wonder stuff. Yeah, okay. There's the announcement. With that being said, here are the full race details. We'll give the stuff in there. And then again here, Ziki and Rice are casting.
That's just really bad though, Ed.
And
I had this talk with Waggle yesterday. Just like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, let's say Ziz wins, right? And let's say he gets the ticket.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense for him to give the ticket away. Because who the fuck should it go to? Like, we shouldn't even be racing if this is actually how they want to do it.
Exactly.
Because, like, someone else should have to. It's not fair to anyone. Like someone else should have to try to earn the spot. I shouldn't be able to just choose because I won and can't go. And it shouldn't go to second place. They didn't fucking win. Someone else should be in the race. That's why I said I shouldn't be in the race because I can't go anyway.
And anyone wondering who's talking with me here? This sir. But yeah, it makes no sense that if this wasn't used the ticket, if he were to win it, he should not be in this race. But obviously, it's pretty clear that this race is not really about fair competition for the spot at the spot. This is, well, the publicity shit for the beat, right? And there's some interesting like things around here. So if you look at the list, most of the people here, I would probably say everyone. I haven't talked to everyone, but I would assume that everyone in this list condemned the idea of invitational race where you don't have a chance. People don't have a chance to be invited because there is no qualifier for this event, right? Where the reward is a ticket to the finals. I don't think anyone on this list thinks this is good.
No. No one on that list thinks it's good.
And
not one.
Yeah.
I can pretty much confirm that.
And going back to this, I didn't actually think about it first, but everyone I've talked to so far on this list, there's a few names, actually said that they didn't know about this ticket to the finals being the reward until like either like today or yesterday. Right? Was at least your case, right, Kammell?
But this is like, I don't know. So I gotta go back a little bit because this is like directly contrary to the exact conversation that we had about this. Like me, Ziz, Havoc, and Ziggy all had a conversation with Chris Wilson about this like months ago about the whole Exile Con qualifiers, kind of what they should do. And we had talked about how it needs to be open participation. Like this is like one of our main sticking points was not doing this kind of thing. And so yeah, none of us knew that this was going to happen. Like literally not one person. I can tell you for a fact, Ziz didn't know, Havoc didn't know, I didn't know. And this goes directly contrary to what we had told them should be the case. Like I because one of my things was like my race isn't open. I'm gonna have to make my race open for that. I mean, it is open, but it's not like I don't usually have like 2,000 people, right? But you should have 2,000 people because this is a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
And they gated it behind some weird invite system that had like no qualifier and was like the people on this list, like if you look at it, like it's fairly obvious. Like Beat doesn't know a lot about POE, right? So I assume Ziz gave them a name of racers. Like the people who are on this list are like streamers. Like it's supposed to be like a streaming event, right?
Or like whoever was like, you know, in contact with them about this a lot. I don't know who or whom, but I'm
saying that's what I do.
Okay.
So I'm
saying.
Okay. Okay. And so my point is we wouldn't have fucking done any of that. Like Ziz wouldn't have given on a list of names if he knew there was going to be an Exile Con ticket. Like, so they're saying I'm a confirmed racer. I confirmed when I didn't know there was a fucking Exile Con ticket. Like I would have told them to replace me. Literally right when they told me that this was happening, and I would have had to talk to Bex or like Chris or someone, but I don't know. Like at this point, like I can't back out. I don't think they'll replace me because they already announced it, and yeah, I don't know. I just kind of feel like we all look like pieces of shit, and I'm not particularly thrilled about it.
Yeah, I wonder what happened. Since if you had the talk, and you were pretty strict about what not to do, and this ended happening anyways. I wonder how it ended up being like this. Like, where this like was this race? Like, I don't know if you know, it was this original race.
No.
Like,
So
this
they had
race originally
come to us.
planned to be open with the ticket, or was it just to be a race with the money prizes? And then
So-
this ticket was just like a last minute slapping into the deal because whatever reason it wasn't put on something else. Maybe like GGG realized that it's too much effort for them to use their own system, which, by the way, they have the tech to do the racing stuff. They can literally create leagues where everyone can be at the Twilight Strand with a timer going down to 0 when the race starts. This is most likely going to be a private league, I would assume. Of course, I don't know for sure, but that's my guess.
It is. It is a private league, yeah.
Probably without timer countdown. Unless
They're making it beforehand, so you can create the characters beforehand.
Okay, so basically the same thing, but they could actually use their system. In fact, they have had an invitational race event where people were invited, where like you had like this, I think it was, I don't remember how many accounts it was total. There were only people allowed in that league. It was like the league was enabled in the accounts where you had the countdown, and that was like an actual POE invitational race. I don't remember.
So I think this is what happened.
Yep, go. I'll find this.
So when we had our original conversation, we essentially were going to set these up, like me, Ziz, and Havoc, because I think at this point it's safe to assume that GGG doesn't really want to do anything with racing, which in my mind is like kind of fine. Like, it's been that way for a while, and they kind of just want community to take care of it. And so I think they wanted us to do it because of that reason. They're like, if you guys are going to be doing racing anyway, you guys should just go ahead and take care of this, and it's cool. We'll throw ExileCon tickets on it, whatever. And then I think Beat separately had been planning to do a race for a while. And then we hadn't talked, or I hadn't talked to Chris. I don't know if Ziz did, for like months. So we were kind of in limbo. Like, we hadn't really gotten an update. I recently had gotten an update. And then I think they like had been talking to Beat about it, and they just moved one of the tickets onto this race, seemingly without thinking about really anything.
Yeah.
Like, really anything that was gonna happen. Like, I don't know. It's such a weird. Yeah, someone didn't think about it. I think. I don't know who it was.
I'm looking at the season 11 invitational race thread from March
The Lone
21,
Strain Hero himself is ranked
2015, where a bunch of people, me included, qualified through the race season for this race. It was either, I think it was like, maybe it was top 10 or top 20 total amount of points in the season, or you were top 3 best time in the Ascendancy. Like, you had like a Ascendancy, like you had like these fixed seed races where the layout was always the same, and it ran multiple times during the season, and then top 3 times for each class got invited. Obviously, there were a lot of people having multiple top 3 placements, which ruled out a lot of people potentially getting into the race. But like, they could do this.
Yes, they could do that.
So it's not like they don't have the tech, they don't have the resources. It like, and Chris has said in podcast that like in the past that it's not doesn't take them much time to do anything like. But yeah, this is the big issue. Like, everything in this would be totally fine invitational race where you have the
I mean, in
money
my
prize or
mind,
whatever.
like if it didn't have the Exile Con ticket, no one complained.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's them setting up a race. Like it's like like who cares? Like
Yeah. So the big
you
issue.
can be mad that someone got a spot over you, but it's like
Yeah, like let's completely ignore the list of people who are here is pretty much completely irrelevant to the issue that people should have with this race. Like you can say that there are people in this list that there are not people in this list that should be here, for example Leaf, and there are people who are not particularly great in Act 5 Kitawa races or Act 10 Kitawa races. For example, I think Crying isn't exactly the fastest Act 5 racer, but he's really good at the later stuff, etc, etc. But that's just, most of that is just like irrelevant. The big issue is the ticket here, and I don't honestly know what they can do to fix this situation.
I mean, it's not hard. I don't think it's hard.
I made a pretty angry post, but I think I still stand behind all of my words. But like, would you think that them removing the price from this race would fix it?
Yeah, why wouldn't it? I think here's the thing, is I don't know, I can't speak for everyone, but I already at this point, from recent leagues and shit, have a pretty low opinion of GGG right now. And so them just moving it, like, yeah, they already fucked up. So I'm already going to be a little bit salty. But, like, I think it would fix it. I mean, they'd have to figure out what their solution is as to what race they're going to tack it onto. But
yeah, I honestly, like, if they were to take it off, I would perfectly fine. But in the grand picture, I don't know if it would, like, you know, how would it look like? Make them look in the org. Also,
I think how they look is less important than doing it right.
Yeah, I agree. But also, what do you think? So the org, the beat, like how much do we blame this on GGG versus the org not understanding what they were getting into?
Do you mean for the ticket?
Yeah, because
I mean, I 100% blame GGG. There's just no like let's say you're a company, right? Like, why in the fuck would you turn that down? There's no reason for them to turn it down. They don't really know POE that well. And GGG's like, we have this thick prize we can give to your event. Why would they turn it down?
Let me go to the thread. Obviously, this is just sweet words, but the founders and the staff of BEAT Invitational have played Paths of Exile since our early beta days, and consider themselves to no stranger. But yeah,
I like the guys; they're very nice, but that's just not true.
But yeah, like so, my point here being that them being an organization, shouldn't they, you know, to show that they know what they're doing, understand what they're stepping into? Like, I wouldn't put everything on BGG on this. Majority I would, obviously, because it seems like they are.
I mean, I put 100%. Although I guess I blame Beat a little bit for not letting the racers know earlier that.
Oh yeah, that's.
I guess maybe they wanted a surprise, but it's like okay, so here's.
If people don't even know what they're getting into.
A lot of advice on how to do the race. Like, they're using my friend for like clip polling. Like, I helped them out a little bit with the format, even though they're still. I don't love the format either. I think it's a little bit wonky, and you're right. It's essentially me. Like, anyone who's racing, you're wasting your time in the first two races. You're literally just gonna play fairly safe and try to not die so you get to qualify.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've gone through them. They don't. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like they know what they're doing, and I'm kind of surprised they didn't bring up the Exile Con ticket. I think it's. I don't know. That's would be my only bone to pick with them, but.
I honestly believe that this was added like last minute, where GGG had something planned that they would do themselves, but then ended up realizing, for whatever reason, that it might be too much
Well, here's another thing.
with too much resource to put into or whatever, and then it's like, oh shit, there's already this cool event going, let's slap it there.
Here's
That's
why
what I
think
think
you're probably
happened.
right that it came late, because we had talked to them, I think in February or March, and the original plan was to have the ExileCon tickets in like April. Like we were gonna do the races in April because they gotta book everything, right? Like they want these done.
Yeah,
Ideally,
they
I
have to
assume
be done
as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So I think now they have a new league coming, and we can't plan a race in early June. Like it's like impossible. Like they can't do it. They have a league coming out. So I think they pretty much ran out of time, and they're like, we can't throw 4 of these tickets on late June so that we can book all these tickets. So now they had to find like 2 other people outside of us to plan races so that they can get them done with.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm just really sad how this ended up happening. And okay, let's say that they don't take the ticket out, which I think is a very likely what's gonna happen, that they're not gonna take the reward ticket out. Should they add another race, open race? Because now that would mean that they have to pay another person in the
I mean, they won't
the Exile con, right?
I mean, it'd be cool if they did, I guess. They won't do it, though.
But okay, let's say that they do that and they make another race. Wouldn't that be now unfair? Because people in this event have had 5 chances to get in versus 4. So that's also a pretty big thing to argue.
I mean, even if you look at this race, I think there's 6 people who can't even win the ExileCon ticket, really. I mean, as far as I know, Ziz, Havoc, and Noogie are all going already from GGG. Dead and Doom, I'm pretty sure can't go.
Going in as into the Exile con, right? But this isn't about the ticket. This is about the the place for the race. Like I'm expecting Steel to go in too to the Exile con. I would be super surprised if Method didn't pay Steel into it.
But GGG got the other guys in.
Oh, I got GGG.
So I'm saying is like, so why would they win the ticket and they're like, okay, you can race in this. So who's flying there? Like, so would they just like save money by not? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why they tacked it onto this race. They're like, oh, we have a 50-50 chance to save money on travel expenses.
Oh yeah, true.
That would be epic. I would actually respect that if Chris was just like, all right, we ran out of money, and so we need to have someone who's already going to win this.
You know what's funny though? Like how much? I don't know if you know.
Steel is going from his own pocket.
How much? Yeah, there's people who said on the chat that Steel is paying his own ticket, but how many? Like how much does it cost them to get like someone from the EU or NA? It's like 5k, something like that. Like whatever tickets, back and forth, the accommodation for a weekend. Isn't that pretty much it? 5k is probably like overshooting it too. Probably less, I would assume. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the flight is like anywhere between 1k to 2k. And that's like, I don't even remember if that's like back and forth or only back. I actually don't remember. It's been too long when I checked the. It's like months ago when I checked it. I don't remember. But yeah, like saying it's gonna be back and forth. So okay, 5k is like overshooting a lot then. So it's probably like a few thousand person. So I think we're running out of money. It's probably not the case, but yeah. So you think the only redemption arc
I don't know it.
for them is to remove the ticket from this race and put it somewhere else?
I mean, is there a redemption?
Oh, I guess.
I don't know if they can redeem themselves.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly.
I guess redemption
I
is
think
the
they
better
can
one.
do something correct. I think at this, like, I don't know. They just need to eat a bullet and be like, we fucked up here.
Yeah.
We're gonna move the Exile content. They can't move the Exile content. That's what I'm saying. Is if they actually ran out of time, then they need to throw it onto a different race that they don't have planned.
Yeah, I honestly think it was just like they ran out of time / they realized that they can't, for whatever reason, they can't put the resources to slap in that one race. Like from what I remember Chris talking, making a race or like an event doesn't take them much time or resources or anything like that. What if they just open the race for everyone? I mean, I think
they won't. This is something that Gucci brought up to them.
I know they won't
they
because they are paying for the slots for the people to join the race, right? And this is done in a private league. So, I mean, obviously,
I don't think it's a slots issue. I mean, I would give up prize pool if it funded slots, because this is horse shit. But I just think they don't want to. I don't know. They don't want to do. I mean, it's an invitational. They'd have to rebrand it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think branding it is as an actual competitive race, it's better than an invitational, personally, from interest point of view. But I guess they would have look at it this way, that everyone they have linked everyone's Twitch here, so you're assuming everyone has to stream. So they wanted to make it so that people, like, you can actually keep up with everyone actually in the race.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I think bottom line, this is, you know, trying to get.
So I guess I can
trying
ask
to
you,
get the name of the
see.
organization out there. The bottom line is, I think, is the case, anyways.
Because me and you are in like two different positions, right? Like, you can bitch about this on Reddit, and that's great. I love you bitching about anything you want on Reddit. It's beautiful, and I love you. But I am like tied into like 3 different aspects of this, and I just want to like fucking throw a grenade on the ground and end it. Like, no, I don't know. Like, what solutions do I have? I guess is what I'm asking, because I don't want to look like a piece of shit. I already think I kind of do look like a piece of shit because of this. And I have like literally no interest in looking like a piece of shit for something that's not really my fault, and I don't think that this really is. So I told them to replace me. I don't think that they will.
Just to make clear, Kammell was talking about throwing a grenade on the ground in a video game.
In game.
Yes.
Apex, dude.
Yes, in Apex. Because he would never talk about things like that in terms of real life, you know? It's talking about video games, you know, just getting the pressure out in a video game. Man, I'm so sad because this could have been such a nice event, and now it has the stain of the ticket drama on it.
Yeah, it would have been fun.
Like how fast can it go sideways from a good event into a goddamn? Because there's few people, few people excluding me, like I mean I belong to this, but then it's, you know, more than few people, and it's several. I think several is usually more than few, but who kind of lost interest in practicing. I've actually done a lot of off-stream practice. I could actually be competitive in the group stage on this without a doubt.
It's just like so depressing to me.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know, like I
It's
don't
just
know
it feels like a kick in the balls to all the racers.
if you think about over the last like what was it, April? I guess over the last like 6 months, racing has essentially been me doing every race except 2 that I've had severely poorly planned.
Yeah,
And I just
we
don't
had
get how
the
nobody else can fucking do it. Like I don't.
yeah nobody's doing it. I feel like this would be actually so much better. Like you're actually paying for the slots yourself, right?
Yeah.
On those events, and that's the reason why it's not open to everyone. You have to show that you can, can kind of compete. / you have a vouch from someone who
Right. The
can
reason I
compete.
do it is so I don't run into the same situation I ran into this last race. I spent $500 paying for fucking slots.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
is fine to do it once a year, I guess, but it's just that's why reason I do it invite only, so I don't have
And you know what's
$500
the
slots.
interesting thing? GGG, if they really wanted to support racing, could actually, come a bit forward with you here and actually make these so that you don't have to pay for the slots. And that would actually make it quote unquote open for everyone, regardless of if you can prove that you can do anything in the race. Like they could do that or give you like a massive discount or whatever. And then there's this another thing, which is like now we can talk about the issues. But what about people winning the races who don't stream? And you need people to stream who are winning the races. You see this every time when it comes to like people talk about Ty, right? Because he's not streaming the races he does, and when he wins, well, nobody actually sees what he's doing, and he often has like a private profile too, so that people can't even like watch their gear and whatnot. And
I don't know. To me, I've heard people talk about like they want or they think that GGG should give me these free private leagues, but I think it's just a horrible idea. Like, why should I get a free private league over anyone else? Like, it's just a horrible precedent.
No, I don't.
Like,
Okay,
what are the qualifications for that, right?
That's a bit. What's the word here? You're not actually. It's not giving you free private leagues. It's coming together with you. Anyone who would be willing to put these actual races together. I mean, I guess you could eventually start arguing that it's gonna be abused and people just use it to make free private leagues and whatnot.
But like, okay, let's say like, okay, Spetsnaz in chat. Let's say he puts together a race, does the same thing that I'm doing. Maybe a few less people are in it, but what differentiates my race from his race? I don't think tweet out your name. I get what you're saying, but it's still, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me that my league should be free. I don't mind paying for it. I don't have anything against paying for it. If they want to do an open participation race, they should pay for it.
I'm just saying that this is from the point of view of GGG wanting to support the racing scene.
If they wanted to support it, they could just
actually
click on a fucking button and just do a race. Like,
okay, we're going through the least resistance here, which is just helping you like make these happen instead of them actually needing to do something in terms of making it happen, right? So they don't actually have to spend time doing this if they were just helping you to get it done. But fuck. I was talking about the Tide situation, right? GGG actually has a way for people to spectate. So, I mean, obviously that needs for them to spend time on getting that done, but that would completely remove all and any issues anyone has when it comes to requiring people to stream, right? Because as far as I know, if Ty streams, his POE performance will go down a lot, which means that
Ty's streaming this race.
Yeah, but
Ty doesn't stream unless he has to.
Yeah, because it makes the gameplay worse for him, right? So that means that he's having a worse, like, less of a chance at actually getting a good run done. GG one step forward. Their omnipresence on Reddit has long been gone, and this news is just a joke. This looks like Federer was involved from GG. Whoever was involved with GG detected very last result and ignored 3 names. Old metal team leave the services to bot subs. Again, I don't think the issue isn't who is in the race. The issue is how the race is done. Even
Yeah,
if
like
you,
I was saying,
even if we
before
were
we knew
to
about this, we could make our jokes and stuff, and you'd be like, all right, Crying probably shouldn't be in this race, or whoever. It doesn't really matter. But it's like now it's like way worse.
yeah, like you could extend this list to have everyone who has even remotely chance at winning this, and you would still have like less than 100 names, and I would be bitching about this, making noise regardless. Maybe a bit less people would, but I think it still goes against the spirit of fairness in the competition. And when, let's go back to the. Can I find the ExileCon announcement or whatever?
Did you sign a contract, or why can't you ditch this? I mean, I told them to replace me. I don't know how much more. If they won't replace me, then it doesn't make any sense for me to not play it.
Does somebody have the thread for the ExileCon announcement where they mention about the final racing event? I guess it's just the ExileCon page, right? Part of Exile/com what? ExileCon whatever. I would assume, maybe.
What was that? I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to get the source of where they mention the racing event thing, because I'm about to make an argument in favor of the fairness of the racing. So I just need the forum thread. No, yeah, there it is. Okay. So here, is this it? Oh. Yeah, Gucci, I linked that in the thread as well. And we were looking at it here. No, I already took it off. But that's the updates, right? Where they mentioned that they are held by 4 different, people / organizations or whatever, right? But yeah, here, okay. So this is the ExileCon, by the way, like the ExileCon, it's the announcement or wherever they have the tickets, whatever. Held in Auckland, New Zealand from November 16 to 17, ExileCon 2019 is a celebration of all things of Battle of Exile. Experience, announcement of multiple future expansion, play unreleased content. What's the best Battle of Exile racers compete in tournaments? Well, I'm pretty sure we can probably remove the S from the tournaments, and it's probably just going to be Ace, I would guess, or something like that. Or it's just like, you have few races and then the best time, whatever. But I don't think there's gonna be multiple of them. Maybe there are, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But the issue here is that it says what's the best Battle of Exile racers. Okay. This is not saying what's some of the best, what some of the people race. It says what's the best Battle of Exile racers. And then we go back to the thread that Gucci been linking there again. Here, ExileCon will also feature a racing final event. Throughout 2019, 4 different race events will run, hosted by different groups, and then they will then compete. So, what this implies... Thanks for the support. What this implies, whatever here, that it would actually be a competitive event, which would mean that you would have proper qualifiers for the people who are participating in it, which means it has to start from being open. You can't have a closed qualifiers. You can have a qualification for event like this, where you have a chance at winning it, but none of the people here have qualified. I mean, you could argue that all of these have proven that they are worthy and whatnot, but at the same time, I could say that this list is missing like 29 names.
20? That's a lot of names.
Yeah. When we were talking about where the stakers are getting a ticket, to ExileCon, VIP ticket to ExileCon, and you know, racing in the event, there's a lot of people who can put the time into practice to actually compete. The main reason why the people who are best
Did you
racing
see
in
on the
POE
forum?
are the people who
Nice
have
Shot
spent
was
some
asking how
time.
he gets in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was like, Nice Shot, if he practiced for like 3 days, would beat me.
Yeah. So here
Oh, no.
here in the thread we have Exif. So if you don't know who Exif is, he's a god whose name isn't very well known, but he's beat like multiple, like he's won races to 100, but he's actually really good at the early game too. He's not bad player at all, and if he spent time practicing, he would easily be able to compete. And there's a lot of people who can compete. Yeah, Exif
Like
is Nice Shot.
Helmet might practice for a few days. Like there's a lot of people who could, like Crame. Maybe Crame would practice for 3 days.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I actually got my average. In 3 days on the first day. Like from the first day to the second, I dropped my average time on an Act 5 Kitava run by 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you start at and what did you get
I'm not gonna say, but it dropped a lot in a few days, and I didn't do many runs. Like
okay, I'm gonna give you a time.
I only did like 2 like actual runs and a few like Act 1, because Act 1 is the ones you like the place where you kind of spend the most time in anyways.
Can I give you a time and you give me a sound? Just a sound, doesn't have to be a word.
Okay.
125.
Is that the sound you wanted? We can go with that. We can go with that. We can go with that sound.
Okay, that's fun.
We can go with that sound. But yeah, so
right.
the point was that there's a lot of people who are good enough that with given the reason to practice can compete. But
yes,
we go back here where they say that we'll announce more details in the news over the coming weeks. I mean, they never said that they are going to be open qualifiers, but I mean, have we actually? Did we actually expect them to have a closed shit like this?
What do you mean closed? I'm in it. Not closed to me. Do you know I think I'm the only person in the world who can't go to ExileCon for free. I tell you this? I'm the only person in the world who can't go to ExileCon for free. Everyone else who's excluded on this list is already going. And anyone else in the world, I mean, unless I guess there's a chance that every single one of these qualifiers isn't open. And so, if they're all closed, I guess there are other people.
Fresh meat.
Oh, thanks for the
I bet you would never let Cyberx in for free. So me and Cyberx are in the same group?
Just curious, since GGG has pretty much been like, no, we're not touching any of this, how would it be to do an open qualifier? Just to play devil's advocate. With costs, etc. involved, they just wouldn't race.
Wow.
Make an announcement where you can apply for the place in this invitational race, extend the number of players a lot, and the qualification is sending them a video of, you know, a certain time threshold, or 2 runs of a certain time threshold of the run, and then I'll fucking go over them and check if they verify them. Okay? It's really not that hard.
Use this drama and open a Kickstarter to go to ExileCon? I would not go to ExileCon.
So pretty much what Kammell does. Yeah, I don't know how many like people actually send you videos where they are.
A lot of people get in from videos.
Okay.
I mean, not a lot, but like.
Yeah, obviously you could just tighten the whatever the limit is, so that you don't get 1,500 people in, right? Or like the top 20 times get in, or top 25 or whatever, right? And then make it so transparent that you actually show, though, like you make those runs that qualified in available to people to watch. So you can't argue that it was, you know, that they just handpicked the people that they wanted to participate. Is that the stream I can get mad? You can open up. I mean, I'm not anymore. I'm not really mad. I guess mad is not the correct word to describe how I feel about this. It's more about like disbelief and this disappointment, honestly.
Is Dexter mad? Dexter's a racer. How do you feel, buddy?
Describe it in Finnish. Perkele. That's it. A slow, disappointing.
I talked to Ziz earlier. Like, Ziz can't back out of this.
Oh yeah, none
Like,
of the method boys. They can't.
I can back out of this. Ziz can't. I mean, he's the biggest POE streamer.
Yeah,
he,
there's absolutely.
Like, he wouldn't have this. He can't back out.
Yeah, I'm also pretty sure Ziggy can't back out.
No. Ziggy also. I don't know how much Ziggy cares.
I wonder if they actually went through any people before confirming the Exile con as a prize.
There's no way. There's literally no way, because
the only person in the list of names that I would give higher than a 0% chance to be fine with this is, I don't know. Wait, no, I can't give that even to Siggy. I think no way. Siggy would realize this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure nobody knew about this.
That's where like these need to be open participation.
I want to believe that if the org told the Ziggy that they're gonna have this as a prize, that Ziggy would tell them that's not a good idea.
Just really, everyone's mad about Leaf.
Yeah.
I actually am partially the reason why Leaf's not in the race, by the way.
They asked you to name 12 people.
No. What happened was, so Uber
I am obviously gonna be in
that.
because I'm the best. I can race anyone immediately right now, so that's why you're in. You made that statement that you can race anyone right now and you beat them.
Uber didn't respond to them, so they had an open spot, and I suggested Fightgar instead of Leaf because Fightgar practices, and Leaf, if he was in this race, wouldn't even practice.
And he would still be in the finals and get at least.
Leaf might be the laziest POE racer. He just has like natural, God-given ability. Leaf doesn't fucking practice. No, Ed.
That's what he makes you believe. He has a second account.
What do you? I play Apex with him like every day.
But that's.
He doesn't practice.
He practices when you guys are not playing. He doesn't actually sleep.
My God.
He doesn't actually sleep.
No way. People think I practice. If you were friends with me on Origin, you would know I definitely do not practice. I mean, Gucci can pretty much confirm I don't practice. I'm on Apex like 12 hours a day. And I'm still bad, so.
like the fuck, I just lost what I was saying. Oh yeah, up until this day, I have actually done practice.
Man,
I'm not gonna go into details how much practice, but I have done practice.
why wouldn't you go into detail about how much you practice?
Why would I?
Why wouldn't you?
I don't know.
I don't like the shadow
I don't
games by
actually
you.
know.
I have not practiced off stream in so long.
Actually, the reason why I practice off stream is because I would actually have to close the chat because I would get too distracted. That's
Of course,
actually the
that's why
main
you-
reason. That's actually the main reason. And if I'm
No, it's
streaming,
not. Nifty
Uh-uh.
fuck. You're not
I-
even saying how much you practice. You clearly are holding strats too.
And the thing, the another thing is that if you're streaming and you're not interacting with anyone in the chat, that's not very good for your stream either.
Okay, but if that was the only reason why you weren't practicing on stream, then you would say how much you practice.
I mean, I can say a couple hours a day. We can go with that.
Okay,
pretty
a couple
accurate.
hours a day. Sure.
Let's just say that I'll do at least one run a day. Well, up until this day, I haven't done a practice today because I'm being pretty
don't hate yourself?
disheartened. Let's just say that. Look at the crowdfund page.
I don't know. I don't want to
Is CAD like Canadian dollars or what?
I don't want to be too hard on them about that. It's like
What's CAD? Is it like Canadian dollars or what?
also nobody do. Yeah, Canadian.
Just
They're a Canadian company.
There's 20 Canadian dollars on the crowdfund so far. Oof.
I mean, I wouldn't be too critical of that. Nobody donates to my races until like the day of. I don't know who would donate to this, but
I mean, I think the prices are already so high that you don't need to. Even if you completely were to remove the ticket, $900 dollars is a pretty big price. I mean, it's not as high as what your highest prices have been, right? But
no. Crying one, I think like 1,200 the highest.
and this is probably perceived a bit differently. This is like a GGG event basically, and not just some random. I'm sorry, I called you random person in the community organizing
No,
out of goodwill.
Good, accurate representation.
I don't know if you have a goodwill, but just making them.
Fuck you, Car.
I mean, I don't know if I can say that you have goodwill.
Okay.
When you remember,
Okay. All right. I got you.
I'm gonna finish this and I started. Remember when you ask if I'm gonna join the PlayStation 4 push as a kind of a meme?
Mhm.
And I said, yeah, if you buy me a PlayStation, and then you motherfucker did and bought me a PlayStation to see
What
me
did you do?
suffer. I thought we were going together, racing together, pushing ladder
Alright.
together.
All right. Listen.
But then I ended up doing it like 99% of myself.
I can defend myself. If
By-
by 99%.
Can we have like F in chat for me? Mainly soloing to 100 in PlayStation.
Listen, I would have told you to quit too if you're. I still don't get how you ended up with a better PlayStation than me. I bought you a PlayStation, and then like 3 days later, you're like, "Oh, look at this! Chat gifted me a better PlayStation." And now all of a sudden, I have 0 FPS, and you're chilling at like 20. I got a headache from playing, and then I was like, I can't fucking do. I don't have the heart for this. I just came out of a 100 race.
Hey, me too. What are
But
talking
you
about?
didn't.
Yeah, I was racing in that too.
You came out of a 100 race where you told Rise a bunch of things, he didn't listen, and then you quit.
No, we as a team quit after everyone died. I didn't rage quit.
Okay, so
don't-
then
don't
we
think-
as a team hit 100 and we played the whole time.
Yeah, but you said that you were doing a 100 race, so were I. We weren't actually going into specifics, like how far you went into the race. Oh shit.
You
But yeah.
slept a lot? Slept a lot in what?
Hey,
During the
actually,
method
I
race?
think we slept pretty much the same amount the first few days, like the 2 days.
I think he's talking about the method race. If you're talking about the method race, that's bullshit. Gucci overslept twice too.
Dude,
I got shit because I was the first one to oversleep.
Dude, I slept what? I think it was 4 and 6 hours. Can you imagine that?
Gucci said, yeah, but I did sub 24-hour Shaper. Yeah, but we had 700 extra chaos when the fucking race was over. If I played during the time that I slept, we would have had, what, 900 extra chaos? Like, who cares?
Are we done talking about the invitational shit, or is there something we need to cover? Is there somebody who wants to join
Gucci.
and voice
Okay,
their opinions on this?
Gucci.
I don't know if I'm ready to get banned on Twitch yet.
You're gonna get
so
banned?
We're gonna leave Gucci away from this. You know?
No, I'm sleeping. Gucci, what are you talking about? I'm about to get off this call and we're gonna play Apex soon.
Oh, shit. Man, last epoch in like an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, I should play that.
Is there anyone who thinks this is a good thing and wants to defend that point of view? Because I've seen few persons say this is fine in the Reddit thread, but that was like literally at the start of this thread. That surprisingly were actually pretty highly upvoted at the beginning, but
Where's Ventura? Is Ventura around? Ventura's always down to have some spicy takes.
I don't know, is he? Who are you?
Maybe Embu. Embu had some shit to say in the Reddit thread.
Oh yeah, Empu is another person who can practice and get in there.
Annie?
Oh, Ventura is online on Discord at least. I think it would be a good thing if they made it a showcase thing. I mean, this event would be actually great. I would love this event if it didn't have the ticket to race final. That is like literally my only problem.
Nah, Hedgehog won't say anything. Hedgehog's a nice guy.
I
I
doesn't
think,
care.
like, you're saying if they made it 50, it would be better? Like, I don't think the number even matters. It should just be open.
Oh yeah, I've seen Ventura's comment. I've seen this.
Ember's
Dude,
in chat.
when I was reading the Ventura's comment, it seemed like he to me it felt like he did all he could in his willpower to keep it as civil as possible. Am I the only one thinking about this? Like it clearly sees, like there's like a couple other comments. Where's the other comment he has?
Well, money-wise, it makes no sense for BEAT to pay for an open league. Of course, it makes no sense for BEAT to pay for an open league. That's why GGG should give them slots. Like if I do an ExileCon race, I'm not paying for 2,000 slots so that I can have an open participation race for a fucking ExileCon ticket. Like I'm essentially doing their job for them, and then having to pay for it. It wouldn't make any sense.
Ventura responding to adding an ExileCon package to invite only thing is a scummy thing. And then somebody like this is like somebody is quoting that and sorry I can't understand. Can you explain? Isn't it a nice addition to the prices? And then Ventura, GG announced that there would be 4 ExileCon packages to race for during the year. Probably that bad thinking on my part that I assumed people would actually be able to compete for them. that sentence right there screams so much emotion that he doesn't say. I don't think there was any communication between Metal. Sis, do you want to come talk? We've been pretty civil about this thing. Surprisingly civil. We kept it cool.
Ziz, aren't you streaming? Oh, nice.
Doesn't mean
We have,
anything.
like,
We can.
We got like a crossover.
Ooh. I agree with Ventro's post. Oh, I mean, everything Ventro says here is true. Like when people organize these streamer races and organizes stop final, can organize stop finals saying invite best X racers. I mean, to be fair here, they don't say that, but that's just disingenuous. Because they're obviously referring to it as such. They're just not actually saying it because they don't want to make, I guess they didn't want to do the mistake I feel GGG did with the Exile whatever thing, where they say what's the best path of accelerators.
Calls this.
Oh, I'm in my Discord with like we're
call him. You wanna go talk to him?
Yeah, we're in a channel where people, like, I have to unmute so nobody can hijack.
He might not be in your Discord though. My friends be on Discord.
My podcast now.
All right, I'll call him.
Okay, we can do that too, I guess. Wait, we weren't friends on Discord before?
Yeah.
Monka.
How do I...
Is your issue the flights to ExileCon or just the finals? The issue is... Wait, are you asking me or someone else? My issue is the... I mean, the flight is part of it, obviously, but my issue is the entry to the final race. Hey, boys. I mean, I guess hi sis in this case.
He almost died.
I'm gonna leave you guys at it. I'm gonna take a quick piss.
Wait, he said no one left?
Going, Ziz.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. You're just breaching it up, buddy?
I'm playing well Fireball and like... See, I'm level 84 and doing tier 14. This probably is not the best idea.
Nah, you just... 98% of PoE is belief, buddy. You got this.
That's true. Here, I tried that. I died against the Reso. Belief did not make me stronger. I had 28 cold rest.
I feel like every death in PoE is a learning experience, so you're a better
That's
player
true.
now than you were before. I think it
That's
did make
true.
you stronger.
Dude, I like that. It's beautiful.
You've learned a lot of things over your
I've died
PoE
so much.
lifetime. Yeah, I don't. We're just talking about the beat thing.
Yeah,
Disappointments.
I'll be talking about that all day.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel really bad for you, because I'm trying to give up my spot, but as I had said to you, I don't know that you can.
Yeah. Well, and you know, others don't know yet, but you know why I'm extra sad.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Hi.
I think I need to go to push talk again.
Yeah.
This, I don't know, I didn't hear what you guys were talking about, but do you think there's a redemption GGG can do? Could they change something to make this better?
See, this is one of the problems with announcing things so close to the time. Which, how much ahead of the time did I announce the method stuff? Was it 3 weeks ahead?
Yep.
And I felt that was kind of too little.
Early enough, yeah.
Yeah, I felt that was too little. Ideally, I want to have things announced at least a month in advance. And I felt like I fucked up with only announcing it 3 weeks in advance. Like, that was sort of like minimum. So announcing things like 6 days in advance, I mean, yeah, obviously, like, the racers have been contacted. But the racers were also contacted and said, like, oh, it's a race for $2,000. It's a private event. You know, we want to start doing PoE stuff, which is fun. That's great. But they should have told us about the thing, unless they didn't know, which would be insanity.
We talked about this with Kammell, and what I think actually happened is that they had a plan to do something themselves, maybe, I don't know. And they either just run out of time / realize that they can't put that one person to set up this event. And then they just like, oh, there's this another race already. Let's just slap it there, like just like last minute thing. That's my guess. That's
I
my
could
guess
see
what
that.
happened, because if no racers or anyone in this thing knew anything about it, so that's like my only thing here, which makes me actually even more worried now about this whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that they don't really have anyone dedicated to handle all the racing stuff, right?
I
Like,
mean, they could really just use the community, and I think it would be fine.
I know, I'm trying.
Like
Trust me.
why?
Yeah, we
Why-
tried. I guess that's a part of the issue too for me is that like we've actually tried fairly hard. I mean, especially Ziz has been in much more communication with them than me, and I think that we went in with a lot of good ideas and tried to steer them in the right direction. And this was the exact opposite direction of where we tried to steer them.
Then when they were riding the bicycle, they just decided, how about let's state it's a massive log and slap it into the tire, because why not?
Yeah.
Okay. You were laying out the premise. Do you think there is a way for them to make this better? Do you, for example, do you think it's an option for them to withdraw the final, like the racing finals spot from this race, put it for something else? Because I think this I think this race is all like, without that prize, this race is amazing. I think it's fine. Nothing bad about it.
Yeah, and that's what I thought it would be. I think it's too late for that. From a company perspective, there's no way in hell I see that happening. Like, do you, from a company perspective?
Yeah, me neither.
So like, I mean, even say I was like in BEAT or in POE, like now I would be like, well, now it's too late to do anything about. They have 5 days, so no, I don't think so. I don't even think they should necessarily. Just it's so late. I think the redemption arc is making sure that the other events go a lot better. I think that's the most
So
important
basically,
thing here.
no extra, because while they didn't explicitly say that they're all of the, everyone will have 4 chances, there's gonna be, open qualifier for all of them. I feel like they kind of, led people the direction to believe that way. Because if you check the batofexile.com/the ExileCon, where they have like, all of the whatever things, and in the first like selling paragraph they have experience announcement of multiple future expansion, play unreleased content, watch the best Path of Exile racers compete in tournaments. So I feel like when they laid it out like that, they kind of, well, looking at now, they kind of shot themselves in the leg with this, because while you can argue that there's like top racers in this qualifier, you can't really call it best if you actually don't give everyone chance.
I mean, okay, so still, like, everybody that's in the race are some of the best PoE players, right? I'd agree that some of them, like, that aren't in the race are definitely better than some that are. Don't get me wrong, right? I definitely agree. Like, for example, but like Nugi and Crying maybe and a couple other people haven't been practicing as much as others lately, right?
Sorry to interrupt, but even if they were to extend the amount of people in the race to 100 to make sure that everyone who quote-unquote has a chance for this, I think it would still be fucked up. I don't think that is the issue at all. That who
No,
is
I mean,
in the race.
I wish they were open. I wish they were open to everybody. Like, if I was making one of these racers, it would be open to everybody.
If he was making one of these races, I mean, that's what I talked about with Carp earlier. I thought that that's something that we had talked about with, I don't know, between us, was that these had to be open, right? I mean, it seemed obvious to me the whole time that no matter what, these had to be open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a given. Especially if you're trying to make something actually competitive and fair competition, it has to be open.
I agree.
There just isn't any other
I think
way
what
to.
you said is very likely what happened. That they had already planned this. Like, I'm hoping this is what happened. That they planned it as just a fun esports event, $2,000 prize, and then maybe GGG, like, we're running out of time to do one of these, and then reached out and was like, hey, you guys want a golden ticket as a prize? That's hopefully what happened.
Yeah, I'll definitely take that over them planning this weeks or
Yeah.
months or whatever in advance to have that. Yeah, I'll absolutely take that instead. But regardless, it makes me kind of worried. What if there's a similar event someone is setting up that is an invitational that like, hey, there's another race we can put a key in, like the.
I guess
into.
that is a good point. Is like I had assumed that we had known a decent amount of what the was going to be for a while, and this makes me think that maybe I don't know what the plan for the rest of them are. I mean, maybe Ziz knows more than me.
I'm trying to reach out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be like, please communicate more. Hello, I can help.
Oh yeah, like there's a lot of people who are willing to help with this, but like remember all the Redditors where people are talking, like when people praise that GGG is very open and everything. I mean, I think GGG is kind of like the exact opposite of that when it comes to racing. I mean, in the news post where there are big updates to Exile, where they're talking about, you know, how David Breivik and Max and Eric are, you know, joining that, and then there they say, you know, that there's going to be 4 races hosted by different groups, including some community members. I wonder who those are going to be. And at the end, they will then compete in the racing finals on the Exile main stage. We'll announce more details in the news over the coming weeks. So it's 15 days ago. That's 2 weeks ago. So instead of getting details what kind of events these are gonna be, we end up getting, I guess, detail of how one person out of this pre-selected group is gonna get a ticket to the race, which to me is very scummy.
Wait, I'm not sure I understood the last part.
So they didn't actually give us details on, you know, how, like, I would assume that everyone reading this thinks that when they say we are gonna announce more details, is they're gonna announce more details on how to get in and get into the qualification, like qualifiers,
So
to get a chance
that,
at get
like,
into the final event. But instead we
Right.
just get an announcement of a race that
Yeah,
only
no.
yeah.
No, I mean, I think that's bad, obviously.
So there's a chance that like they literally did not know that this was going to be on the beat race when they had this post 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know that
probably.
for sure, but there is a chance, right?
But even then, like, let's say, I mean, I don't know. Of course, I don't know their timeline and everything like that. But if they said they're gonna give us more information in the coming weeks, that they kind of had things planned out to a point where they are ready to say that, you know, they're ready to actually say these things.
To me, like, Ziz's point in terms of like redemption is like, let's say all the events from here and out are awesome. There's still like 1 out of 4 of these tickets is tainted, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's still gonna be a certain like Carve won't forget it. like,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Like, there's gonna be people who are mad about this, and I think rightfully so.
Yeah,
I don't know
like,
what the solution is.
you know, let's go. This is like the you know, talk about this redemption and like how did they come to the conclusion that this is gonna be fine? Like, we can go back to the China event, right? I mean, sure, I'm pretty sure everyone can agree that it was basically just like they were trying to get like the Chinese people into the game, right? So they made this event and everything like that.
Hey, I got a Malachi statue from that. I love that race.
Yeah. How did you do in the race?
I died, but I got a Malachi statue for dying. That's
Like-
better than my normal deaths.
Like,
Hey, listen. Everyone dies in racing except Ty. Take it easy on him.
but like the point I'm trying to make here is like, you can't even say that this is the first time they make this like there was I think there was a fairly big I don't necessarily not an outrage, but there was a lot of talk, and they absolutely did see people talking about that. You know, why you do this? Like, why don't you just do like two like random, like one or two random events where people race, and that's it's a qualification, right? But obviously they needed. It's pretty fair to say that they needed few big streamers to, you know, get the thing up, and then I don't know what exactly how people got the D&D in, but well, he got in. But the point still stands, right? There was no like qualification, right?
Or at least for the China race, they did ask us like, who are some of the best racers? And I was like Dead and Doom, and a couple other people were like Dead and Doom, because he was at the time. I don't think Ty was racing that much.
Yeah, Ty wasn't racing that much. Like at least wasn't in the highlights at the time.
Yeah. Well, okay. So while we're still talking about the redemption arcs, just say that like, okay, sure, this one's not obviously not going great. It's not very popular. But if the other three do, I think that's still not too bad, because obviously, clearly, like, racing's not a big priority for them. They don't care that much. So if 3 out of 4 go well, that's a whole lot better than no races and no involvement from GGD, in my opinion. I know you said in like PMs earlier that you would rather have no racing than what's happening right now. I disagree, because if the 3 others go fine, I mean, I'm not saying that they will, but I'm hoping. If the 3 others go well, that's a lot better than no racing, in my opinion. Like, for something that is such a low priority to them, it's a lot better than nothing.
I mean, you're objectively right. It's essentially like this is a free thing.
This is
It's
more
just,
about.
it's so hard to have that perspective.
This is more about the, I guess, the moral / spirit of the whole thing, and not like the technique, like the actual like on practice and then making, you know, money out of this or whatever. Like, I think that if you do something this way shitty as you do, you just don't do it at all, basically. I mean,
that.
they kind of agree with my point here, actually, because they stopped doing races because it wasn't for they couldn't do it, right? They couldn't do it in a way that they were happy, so and the community wouldn't be happy either. I still think that if they had tried to monetize the racing, they could have done it, but yeah, like Battle Bass or something like that on a racing season or whatever. I think there's so many ways to monetize the racing content.
Oh yeah. Same. And like, for example, like what I want to do for like future method races and stuff, especially shorter and smaller ones, is I want to like team up more with Kammell and update and use that list as qualifiers. So like, if you want to be, you know, if you want to get into the method races, you have to qualify for Kammell's list basically and join up there. I think that's already great, and that's very fair requirements, right? Like Act 2, or sorry, Act 4 Kitavan 2 hours, or Act 10 Kitavan.
Yeah, that is like that is such a low bar to.
Yeah, like if you can't do that, then you can't win anyway. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, so that's fine.
I'm not like I'm like willing to check people submits on runs if it's means of more fair competition for events like this. Like, fucking send them to whatever the org is, and then I'll check it from their org. No cost, I'll do it.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I meant like either I would use your list,
You just wanted the
or
list.
make a similar one.
Yeah, I figured. That makes sense. Carve, do you think a part of the issue is that they have, in that one post, because you've kind of latched on like the specific words of this, where they're like,
I mean, obviously it's
the best racers.
Yeah.
I think if they were just like, this is a cool event, like, would it really matter like how they divvied this out?
I mean, that's just false advertisement.
Because to me, I think that's one of the biggest issues. Because let's say it even happens the way that Ziz.
I mean, I totally.
Three really good races. I think the biggest issue is like this diminishes racing, kind of any importance on like the competition, because it should be open. I don't know, like one of the slots is going to be filled by there are a bunch of people in the race who can't even actually get the thing. And there's a lot of people who I'm sure want to get it. So I don't know. I want to give up my spot. I'm not sure that they will allow me to or whatever, but Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a bad look. I think it's a bad look for racing, fortunately. And I feel bad for Ziz too. I don't know. I've put in a decent amount of effort to make racing bigger and hopefully better. Ziz has put in a fuck ton of effort, so
Yeah,
sorry,
I
Ziz.
think GGG is
No,
mainly at
like-
fault here. You can kind of argue that the Beat organization should have known to not, take the ticket as a prize, but I think it's
Well, not sure about that because I don't know how familiar they are about POE, and in a lot of other games, this probably would have gone over a lot better.
we can go with what the announcement says, but obviously that's just sweet words for the sake of words. But as an organization hosting an event on a game, in my opinion, they should somewhat know what's going on.
But from an organization point of view, if the developers reach out to you and say like, "Hey, want this like huge big ass prize
Yeah,
worth between
I
$2,000 and
totally get it.
$5,000?" If
Yeah, I
I
made the
was,
same point.
I wouldn't say no as an org.
I said the same thing to Carver earlier. I can't
Yeah.
blame them at all. I don't think that's fair. I think that.
Oh,
entirely
I'm not.
that they
I
should
guess
know
I guess what I'm saying is that I wouldn't 100% put this. I mean, okay, I kind of want to put this 100% on GDG, but I think as an organization they should still have, regardless of that case, like you kind of, if you're given a pick in a bag, you kind of want to look into the bag, right? You want to make sure that you're not given shit, because now to me this is painting the organization in a bad way because it shows that they are unprofessional, they don't know what they're doing, right? So this is bad PR for them. So I think it's a fair argument to make, but I think obviously it's still the main issue is GDG, because this shouldn't be a case in the beginning with. They shouldn't have offered them this in a closed race like this to begin with.
So many things they can do to monetize racing too. They just even a battle pass would be so easy to set
Yeah.
up and so easy to do.
I haven't played POE
Yeah, I don't know.
in a while. Is that a big
I don't
issue
know
with
what
the
they're
entire
gonna do.
community
I
or maybe
assume that
racers?
everything's just gonna go.
I mean,
way
without the
that they
racers, you
announced
don't
it.
have this thing.
People are gonna be mad. I hope that my spot can get replaced. I don't even know who would replace me, or if they'll do it. So
Justice for Leaf.
I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. At the beginning, before I knew that you guys, I didn't know that you guys didn't know about this. I guess I should have been smarter and actually realized that none of you would have been fine with this, and probably wouldn't have joined this if you knew about it. I was kind of mad, but then now I'm just like disappointed, pretty much.
Yeah, like I woke up and I was like, "Oh, the beat race has been announced," and I was like, "Wait, what? Golden ticket for this? Question mark?"
Okay, so you say that it's. I agree they are not going to take the ticket away from the price on this race, even though I think they should. But what do you think if they added another race? What do you think? Would people take this better at that point? Basically, they
What
would
do you
have to
mean?
pay another person into the final.
But surely the finals is going to be either 4 or 8 or people or something like that. There would be 2 more or something. I guess it doesn't have to be. I don't know. Depends how they do it.
It doesn't have to be an even number, is it?
Yeah.
Why can't you have a 9-person race?
I guess. I'm
Unless
just so
there's
used to
like
other-
a
He's odd
elimination
number
stage.
bias, this guy.
And even a 9-player, you could do a group of three and three, and then out of those people go up. If they were to do like a where you have stages, but I'm totally expecting them not to have any stages on the race final. It's probably gonna be one race to either Act 5 or Act and Kitab, and that's it. My guess.
Rise on, get him on the debate. It's just gonna be like.
Rice said that he didn't
Adding
want
an
to talk
extra
about
ticket
it.
is a good idea.
Would you say this? I'm sorry.
I said adding an extra ticket is a good idea.
But okay, so let's say that they do that. I mean, I don't think that's probably not going to be an issue for them in the budget. It's probably going to be less than 5k per person, by a lot, to get them in there. I would assume tickets are probably going to be like tops like 2k. I don't think budget is an issue, but okay, how about? I mean, I guess there isn't really a way out anymore. But then you could argue that, you know, from the people who, like now these people who are in this race have 5 attempts versus others only having 4.
I mean,
We can't make Carve happy. That's what's going on.
Yeah, like
yeah, that's the
I'm
thing.
Just,
At some
yeah,
point,
you can't.
there has to be some redemption here.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what is it. Personally, I think the only way to really come out of this is either to make this open now, which probably won't happen, or remove the price. I don't want them to make this open because 5 days, like, you know, heads up is kind of bad, especially when people who already are in there knew it's gonna be the race way beforehand. So
Yeah,
I don't
but
think they'd make it open anyway. Because as you can see from my last race that had open, like it's like impossible to cast. I think they want like a
yeah,
nice
exactly.
self-contained event. I mean, I don't mind the event. I guess like we can quibble about the format maybe, but I think the event's fine. And I don't even, I don't know. I wonder like who made the final decision on the Exile ticket going there.
yeah, but the formats don't matter at all for any of the races if you think about it, because we're racing right now, and like for example, this qualifier right is in 3.6, where the final race is gonna be in what 3.8?
Yeah.
Could be fucking Cyclone meta.
Yep.
Oh no, I just mean like if this is a good, like objectively, if this is a good racing format. I don't mean like in terms of it being an Exile Con qualifier or anything.
Right.
Yeah. Then again, this is the people who are good at now with Stormbrand are also gonna be good with any other bit in the future.
Yeah, I know. I thought you were arguing that was a bad format with the.
No,
Oh,
I just
no.
don't know if like having 2 qualifying
We're talking,
races
like, what he's talking about. I can.
incentivized to go like medium speed just so that you don't die.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's-
No,
it's
I
like
agree
a-
on that spot.
it should
a bit of
be-
a strange
Yeah,
racing
if
format.
they wanted to make it nice, it would be the best run you have, and then you have 2 chances. So if you die on the first, you can still have an attempt at second, right? So
Yeah.
this is just feels bad, man.
That's like whatever. It's like hard to pick racing formats.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
I
know.
mean-
I figured this out. Like I try to keep being inventive, and it's like impossible.
I feel like this would be so much better if it was 4 people out of 12 who make for the next stage, because that would mean that you kinda have to try to go a bit faster. Because right now, it just don't try to not die, mate. I am
I mean,
100%.
this is like a really good discussion for me because I'm like obviously learning a lot. For
I am
the
100% sure someone
how
is,
I'm gonna
at
make
least
the
one
method.
person is gonna die on the first race.
Oh yeah.
And that's already out.
Like-
You're out completely.
Yeah. I mean, I was doing race practice today and I died from a desync on Lockstart.
4 people acting kid of a race.
Got
is
hit
really
from
bad.
200 life or something to 0. Mob was nowhere
I
near.
mean, you can make it softcore and then add penalties
Yeah,
and
it's
rips.
so easy to die in these runs. I think that's just like I don't know, kind of
Actually,
the unfortunate
I
thing is
think-
you're just gonna go slow to be in the top 8.
I just realized this format would be fine if this was softcore and there were just like time penalties on dying, or like so that if you don't die, and yeah, just penalties on dying. I think then this particular format would have been fine.
Yeah, I see that.
Because then you still want to go fast and you still want to go minimize your rips. But if you do die, but you were, you know, got your speed boy, you would probably still continue, assuming that
It is
the
actually-
penalties, the penalty just has to be right. If it's 2,
There being 3 places paid and it being hardcore is super interesting because 8 people living through the Act 10 race, or 3 people living out of 8 in the Act 10 race isn't guaranteed.
yeah,
Like I actually think you should re-roll if you die like earlier than Act 6.
Yeah.
Especially because everyone, like, if you've done the run, Act 9 and 10 are by far the hardest. Like, Act 9 and 10 are actually really hard if you're trying to win.
Yeah. So easy to get killed by the Katava Spirit things.
But, oh man, if someone re-rolls in Act 5 and gets third, it's gonna feel weird. I mean, it happened in my race, right? Someone won Templar at like 13 hours or something. It's like, oh no.
Oh yeah, and the Marauder was pretty late too, I think, right?
Yeah.
You know what this race just proved? People want to see actual competitive race with only the best skills. Just tossing that out there. People want to see Stormbrand actual where everyone is playing the same build and actually seeing who's gonna be best with the best skill instead of this division.
Yeah.
I think we learned that from my race.
I think that's the conclusion of this race.
Oh, I agree.
Well,
I always like.
Go ahead, Ziz, I'm sorry.
I always hate those comments, and I wonder why PoE gets it more than any other game. Because even on Twitter, there was somebody saying like, "Oh, Resident Sleeper, can't wait to see everybody race with Stormman." But you're never like seeing anyone tune into like an actual car race, like car style. It's like, oh man, can't wait to see everybody in cars. Why is no one on a bicycle? This is like literally the only place, any other game as well. I've never seen it.
But sis, they're gonna have different stickers. What are you talking about?
But that's I don't get it. Like that's like I don't understand. Why is that exclusively PoE? And when we do it, it got a lot less attention as well.
Also, I had to just point out that like Ty who won didn't even play Stormbrand. I mean, I guess he leveled with it, but you know.
Oh, I wasn't gonna play Stormman either. I was going Winter.
Well, I decided to not have May race.
Wait, sis, can you repeat what you said? I missed it, and my chat is going semi crazy on what you were saying something weird. I just missed it.
I was gonna play Winter Arm.
Before that?
Oh, I was saying that PoE is the only place where people are complaining that everyone's using whatever they feel is the best to win. Like in real life, if you're in a car race or the Olympics, like, you know, you don't see anyone watching swimmers and say like, oh man, they're all like swimming the same way. None of them are like doing the backstroke or using their legs or whatever. You know, it's only PoE. And other games as well.
Yeah, I mean, I see his point. Because like, it was like if you're watching like Counter Strike and everyone was using the same gun, nobody would ever complain about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to win. So I guess like with the meta conversation,
What the fuck
I don't
are
know,
you
that's like
about, Chad?
part of the reason I
This
decided
argument
not
is
to have
totally
the
fine
May
there,
race.
or
Because I think
comparison.
one issue is that
Was it
melee
something
is
else?
just like not really playable, and so it's literally just like one type of build that you're seeing right now. I don't think it's so much that it's like one skill. Like people complain a bit in the arc meta, but you could play Sunder in the arc meta, right? Like I just think this is, I don't know, the meta's a little bit stale right now. And I don't think, I don't know, Stormbrand is not super fun right now.
I think it's super fun. I really
You think it's
enjoy
really
it.
fun?
Yeah, like just the way you can play, you can be so aggressive and like just run into monsters, make sure you don't fuck up your timing so much. Like I'm having a really fun racing with it. Like when it was just Sunder, I hated it. Like dual Sunder and stuff. I mean I was fairly okay at it, but fuck, I
Sorry,
hated
Crystalia,
it.
it's too far
Like it's just so much min-maxing.
under my bed.
I agree with Waggle. I don't think that there's a low skill cap or anything. I think it's actually a really skill-based, it's really skill-based. I don't know. Maybe it's just like got a little bit dry for me. Maybe I did a lot of practice for a while there. Just like too much practicing or... Yeah, I don't know.
Man, it's actually so feels bad, man. When I went to sleep yesterday, I was like, nice, I'm gonna have a couple practice runs and stream some PoE and then last epoch. Then I wake up like, okay, you're not practicing today. Fuck that.
I was waiting for you to wake up because I was like, right when they announced it, I was like, oh no, car. No, car. Car's gonna be so upset.
Like
Yeah,
I lost so much motivation to continue practicing. It's crazy. Even though I know there's at least one open race. Still. Because, you know, what Kammell said earlier, that it feels like the whole shit is kind of tainted now because of that one race.
I mean, I think there's gonna be an open race. I guess we don't know anything now, right? I would hope I know some things.
I mean, I would like to
Warhead.
believe that after this, all of the remaining 3 are gonna be open.
Yeah.
This going on
I
YouTube?
hope a
I
lot
don't
of
know,
things.
probably. An interesting talk. A bit depressing, but
Need some
interesting.
of that Ziz optimism.
I mean, I'm very optimistic.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I need it in my life.
No.
I mean, I give them a lot of slack. But, you know, at some point the neck's gonna break, you know?
Yours or theirs?
I guess that's not the proper analogy here, but I think you got the point, right?
Yeah.
After enough of you know, questionable stuff happens, you know. Some point you just
I
kind of.
mean, I think that's a little overly dramatic because even though there's sure like synthesis might not have been super popular and the way
I
they're
mean,
handling the races
the
aren't the
last
best,
2 races,
but they're
that,
still by far the best gaming company
I
on the
mean, well,
surface of the
yeah,
planet.
I just hold them for, like, you know, too high standard, I guess. I am sorry. I'll
No,
stop doing
that's
that.
a good thing, but from the way you said, it was like it didn't. I don't know.
I mean,
Kind of didn't sound like it from the way you were saying.
the last 2 GGG, like GGG, like setup races have been like closed invitationals. Like,
Yeah.
we're talking. Remember that the subject we're talking about is racing, not the game itself.
Yeah.
Like, if you do something good, doesn't mean that you can do something bad and get away from it.
No, for sure, but it also generally means that it's not like a make or break or whether you're gonna play the
Like,
game.
obviously, I
usually.
agree. Like,
I mean, to be fair, me and Ziz have talked about it. I don't think that racing would be in a bad spot if they just didn't do this. I mean, I was perfectly fine with they don't really feel like doing races, so we have to put them together ourselves. Like, I think that's not a horrible spot for us to be in, because one, I think we would care about it more than anyone at GGG and probably put in more effort, which I suppose is fairly obvious because they clearly didn't know enough to not do this. So it probably should be in our hands anyway. But yeah, I just think that if they didn't do this, I think that racing for the most part would mostly be fine. I don't know. There hasn't been any indication for anyone to think that they would start doing race seasons again or anything like that. So I don't think anyone should be super disappointed from that aspect. But yeah, I just wish they didn't make this decision. I think
It's a little extra frustrating too because it's not like we're looking to get paid or hired for all the stuff we help. Like, I mean, like for you, obviously you're not like particularly biased. I'm biased in the way that, you know, POE doing well is great for me, right? Like, I don't like just out of that I don't need to get paid because POE growing and stuff like that's automatically going to be like more viewers and more subs for me. So it's not like they actually need to like reach out and pay us to do shit either. We want to do this for free, either for, you know, passion for the racing community or for like self-interest for streaming and stuff like that, or both.
right.
yeah, I just feel like every time GG does quote unquote something themselves, we'll get into a situation like this. That's the last 2 events that they've taken a bigger part in. I mean, I guess the only part they're doing on this is just adding the price. I guess. I don't know much of the details, but
I think more to Ziz's point, I think it's like especially deflating for us because if you look at it, like, I don't know, I don't want to look like I think I look bad because
I wouldn't want to be take any part of this.
bad. And to Ziz's point, like, I don't. He's put in a decent amount of effort, in part because he needs or streams, but mostly because he loves racing.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's like
obviously.
deflating that it's getting kind of shit on for no reason. Like,
Yep.
they just like literally didn't have to make this terrible decision. Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
they should have known not to do this.
I feel like it went from a hero
And
to
I feel
zero
bad
so
for
fast.
Ziz. Like Ziz puts in a lot of effort into doing this. He cares about racing and POE. It's just like, I don't know. It's a bit deflating to me, Ziz. You don't seem like you really get deflated.
I don't get deflated. I don't have time.
Yeah.
I got like 40 years left to live, dude.
Yeah. I'm a bit deflated.
You are
by this.
pretty optimistic there, one. That one is. We all know that, right?
Well,
Could have died to a heart attack when you hit a reflect map? What are you talking about? There's no way you're gonna live another 40 years with the way that you play the game.
Hey. I mean, I eat healthy and I have a Danish girlfriend that makes me
That's
sure.
not gonna save you from a heart attack.
Well, my heart's fine. I have a
What are
good
you
heart.
talking about, Carve? Every time he dies, it's a learning experience.
Yeah. I learned a lot.
He doesn't lose any time off of his life because he feels good every time he dies.
I mean,
He
let's
goes,
let's be real. You die on purpose to get the views from Reddit and from Game for Life.
I've never understood that.
Alright.
They don't even get upvoted anymore. I've died too much.
I mean,
He learns every
mean,
time he dies, and it's not Ziz's fault. He forgets a lot of things.
There's
But he didn't learn
there's
it.
a point where it doesn't work anymore, but you did use it very well up to the point it did work.
All right, this is turning
You're
into
sidetracking a bit now, yeah.
Ziz, I'm sorry, buddy. Hopefully the racing in the future, these qualifiers goes well. I'm gonna go do some work.
Alright.
Let's do. I
I
think
love
I'm
you.
gonna check some last epoch beta notes
Have
because
a
it's a
great
half an
one.
hour until the beta goes live. So need to
Yeah,
check that
I'm excited.
as well. You gonna playing it too, by the way? Sis?
Yeah, I'm actually sponsored to play it.
Oh.
Would have played it anyway,
I
but
might play some.
Ooh, sponsor.
but it's actually a really nice thing because I think it was Bikeman that made a big post about this, and he was saying that a lot of companies keep a list of streamers that are going to play the game anyway, and on purpose don't sponsor them. Like they only sponsor streamers that aren't going to play their game unless they pay them. So what 11-hour games did is actually really cool because I would have played it anyway, and they're still sponsoring me. So that's sort of pretty cool. A lot of companies don't do that.
But now think
Have you
now
played
you,
it,
now you
Zaz?
have to add the sponsor on your stream or as the hashtag ad or whatever. That's gonna drive people away because think they're sellouting, you know.
Not really. I've
Just
not
joking.
really
I'm
had
just
a
joking.
problem with
Dude,
that.
I'm just joking.
A lot of streamers do have a problem with that, but if you don't, I don't know. I feel like I don't. I don't like get called a sellout a lot of stuff. I'm very open about things. I mean, I like money.
Yeah, I was just joking.
I know, but it's a valid concern.
Negging this. I mean, we always do this. Dude. We always do this. People are giving me shit that I'm negging on you, but to be fair, every time I come to your stream, the first thing I ever hear after is like, "Hey, Carl, what are you doing?" Is the story of how I kicked you out of the racing team. So I think it's pretty fair that.
But that was just what happened.
Didn't though.
Yeah, you kicked me in MMO. I mean, you weren't unjustified, but that is still what happened, and it made me a better racer for it.
So as a
Am
return,
I wrong?
also as a return, I should totally be a manager of method, you know, showing the layouts, dude. No. Yeah, I'm gonna. People, unless you wanna chat during the last epoch stuff. I don't know.
I might call during that. I mean, I don't mind talking about.
I've played the game.
I like
I've played the game a bit. I actually understand some of it.
Wait, I played like a lot as well.
How a lot? Like, can I give an hour
less than 50 hours.
estimation? 10,
Less
50?
than 50, maybe less. Somewhere between 40 and 70, maybe.
Oh,
Less
okay.
than 100 at
I
least.
mean, it's a decent amount. I probably have 250 now.
Nice.
Oh,
I love how open they are because whenever
Yeah.
I do get offered to get a sponsorship by a game, like the one thing I ask is like, can I say anything negative about your game? And the amount of people, like 2 devs stopped talking to me, 1 straight up said no, and and the others would just say yes. But Last Epoch's reply was, "You can roast us on your stream."
Yeah. If I ever came to be in a spot where I got sponsored, I wouldn't play a game if I can't speak openly.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I don't do
I'm
that
pretty sure
either.
Ziggy has that kind of thing. I guess I don't know how much he sugarcoats it, but he often, says his opinion if there's something bad, right?
Yeah.
You are a sponsor. They give you access.
You are a sponsor, Carve. They gave you access.
I
but
just read.
that's not the same as being
I
sponsored.
guess that's technically correct.
No.
But I think it's more about you could say that they gave me the access so I can test the game for them. So I'm just free labor, and on top of that, people are
Yes.
2 people and other are few bots are watching me play. So this just like an easy investment. I don't think they lost any money on that. I think
it's
they
always
only
good
gained
to
on it.
like let your stream know when you get a key, but that's not the same as being sponsored. Because
Yeah,
being
yeah.
sponsored, you have a legal obligation to declare it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure he was just memeing though. Yeah, it's an important difference to make note of. Kind of like more and increased damage and how they're different, and how you cannot add tags to skills or skill gems.
Yeah.
You have
I'm
no
so fucking
idea how
jealous
many
of
times
Ziggy
I've
getting
said
to
that in the
try
past days.
Borderlands.
Hmm?
I'm so fucking jealous of the Borderlands thing. Ziggy gets to play Borderlands in like 2 days. Or tomorrow?
Oh.
Lol, Michael, I love you.
Yeah, I don't know. Hit me up if you want to talk during the last ebook stuff. I'm gonna go check the patch notes now. And I'm gonna read some easy discussion content on YouTube about us talking about this whole thing. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
I mean, I kind of started it as that's the basic idea with Kammell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
Cheers, dude. See you around.
Bye. Be good. Have fun.
It was a good chat.